Hi, listeners, and welcome to My Holland Update. I'm Marianne Manderfield, Public Information Coordinator for the city, and today our guest is Andy Kenyon, our Director of Parks. Welcome, Andy.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So, Andy, with this ever-changing environment, did the city change plans on ordering for the tulip bulbs, or was it affected at all?
Yeah, so our plans have never really changed. You know, the city always is going to have tulips. Part of our role in the whole Tulip Time Festival Week is to provide the flowers. So Tulip Time plans and programs all the special events and the things that happens like concerts and the Dutch dancing, but the city of Holland buys the tulips, plants the tulips, does everything tulip related. So that has never changed, and I don't foresee it ever changing.
Okay. Tulip Time is its own separate entity.
Correct.
Okay. They're direct from the Netherlands.
They
have a long journey.
Mm-hmm.
Are they here now?
They are. They were set on their way towards about the end of the week of September 18 and 19.
Okay.
And they come from the Netherlands, and they make their journey across the ocean and port on the East Coast, and then get trained over to about the Chicago area, and then get trucked up into a holding facility in Hartford, Michigan, where they get refrigerated and then get sent over to us via semi, and we unload them and sort them and get them inspected by the Department of Agriculture, and then we get ready to get planting. So,
and we hold all those bulbs on property at the Parks Department, correct?
Correct, we do. We have a walk-in. It's more like a drive-in cooler. You could park a couple vehicles in there. It's that big, but yeah, it's temperature controlled. We can determine how hot or cold we want it, and they come in there and we sort them out and organize them by type and variety, and then we just pick away at them until about Thanksgiving when we're done.
Nice.
Yeah.
So they're all here in Holland now, and you guys are getting ready to do the tulip planting, and that within itself is quite a process.
Correct. Yeah, it's a big deal. So if you're familiar with Tulip Time, you know how many tulips we have around the city, in the lanes, in different parks, around buildings. All of those tulips get replaced with annuals after the festival is completed, which we grow at our grow house, in-house.
And the summer here has looked beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
It has. Our staff did an amazing job this year of coming up with the designs, and the plants look great, and we attribute that to a lot of things, but we can grow a bigger plant now in our grow house, which is brand new, like I mentioned, and it's been a wonderful addition to our facilities, so it's great. So all of those annuals that are in the ground will start coming out. So we started taking annuals out of the ground about the middle of September.
Okay.
And from there, we just start the process of rototilling our beds, getting them prepped for tulip bulbs. And then along the lanes, if you live in the city or drive through the city, you may have seen our tractors and machinery riding down the street, digging out the tulip lanes. So we have a custom-built trencher, kind of, we call it, that sits on the side of a tractor, and we have about a 7-person staff that goes along with that to help clean up behind the machine, and that starts the process for us with the lanes. So we'll dig this trench, we'll put tulips in the trench, we'll cover them with dirt, and then they'll be in there all winter long and come up in the spring.
And so for the annuals that you're taking out, those are put to use out. You repurpose those as well, right? They go into composting.
Yep, they do. So yeah, we don't discard anything like it goes to the landfill. It all gets turned back into dirt. So
Nice.
We've been fortunate the last probably 20 years or so to create our own composted soil, and then we use that soil, in all of our projects in the Parks and Rec Department, as well as now with the Streets Department. So the Streets group will grab compost and use that same dirt to backfill behind curbs or road projects, things like that.
Cost savings for the city.
Huge amount of savings. It's we haven't really been able to quantify the exact savings, but we know that we go through thousands of yards of good composted dirt every year.
Okay.
In fact, we just built a new composting area out near the Transportation Services Department a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And that's where we not only bring all of our plant material from our annuals, but a lot of the leaves that are collected during our fall leaf pickup, which is ongoing now.
Right.
So that's been a great benefit for us.
And going back to the custom-built tractor, that it was designed specifically for the city, right?
It was.
To plant the tulip bulbs.
Correct. Well, the machine that I was talking about actually digs the
Okay.
holes.
Okay.
We have two pieces of equipment
Okay.
that were actually manufactured by Holland Transplanter, which is a local company down the street from the cemetery on 16th Street. They built the digger and they also built the planter. So we have a couple big fields at Windmill Island Gardens and then at Window on the Waterfront. And the big planter machine that we pull behind the tractor was a modified garlic bulb planter that was built a long time ago, but it's been
Okay.
modified a few times. And then this digger machine, it's an attachment on the side of the tractor that digs a 10-inch by 10-inch deep hole right along the side of the curb. So it just it's kind of a really gnarly looking machine, and it's archaic and medieval looking, and
Sure.
but it does a really good job for us, and it's pretty cool to watch if you haven't seen it. So
You could probably go out to Windmill Island Gardens and watch them when they plant that, maybe?
for sure, yeah, yep. We sometimes do have people that visit. We typically try to plant that field in the beginning of October, so it'll be really soon that we're able
Okay.
to do that. So we've just prepped those fields too, rototilled those up, and getting them ready to go. So
Okay.
we're close.
So how many overall tulip bulbs will we have go in the ground in the city?
Yeah, so this year we have just over 530,000 bulbs. So
Wow.
534,500 actually is what the bid was, and some miscellaneous ones to go along with that.
Sure.
So about 130,000 of those go to the island in particular,
Okay.
and the rest go on the lanes and all the parks and the buildings.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's a lot of tulips.
It's a lot.
And that requires a lot of staff,
It does.
a lot of park staff.
It does. We this time of year in particular, I'll be honest, and we struggle with staffing. All summer long, we have a whole plethora of college students, and so they're typically seasonal employees. They come in May and they leave at the end of August, beginning of September.
Sure.
And then we have to go through a rehire process. And this year, it's a little bit different. I think probably due to all the COVID-19 things that are happening.
Sure.
We're struggling a bit with getting new staff to apply and to work.
Okay.
So we're asking people if they're looking for work to just check out our website at cityofholland.com and look for jobs, and it's posted there, and all the details are there.
Okay. So for seasonal park staff,
Yep.
you're still hiring.
We are, and we'll work on tulips from now, which we started a couple weeks ago, but from now through Thanksgiving. So
Okay.
we've got plenty of work to do, and if somebody's looking, we can put them to work.
Nice. Okay.
Absolutely.
Cityofholland.com, employment opportunities.
Yes.
All right. And there's another way that people can get involved in the tulip planting, right? We have two different types of community planting. One's a community planting and one's a corporate planting.
Correct. Yep, Tulip Time Incorporated actually helps us organize those events, and they sponsor a corporate planning day, which they have their partners come and help us plant Centennial Park, and then we
Okay.
have a community planning day, which we ask anybody that wants to come and put a tulip in the ground to come out and help us with those on that day.
Okay.
So it's great. It's a good event, and it's fun, and it's kind of you can come back in the springtime and check out your work and see
Sure.
how it works. So
Yeah, and
it's pretty
say,
awesome.
yeah, those
I
are the
did that.
tulips.
That's
I
right.
did that.
Uh-huh.
And this year, I believe, though, the community planting day is on October 12th.
Correct.
Or no, excuse
10.
me,
Yep.
October 10.
Yep.
And there's two different sessions, one that begins at 8 and one that begins at 10.
Yes.
And you're asking people to wear a mask
Correct.
and sanitizing equipment in between
Yep.
that I had read.
Yep, and we'll be doing that, and we'll supply all the equipment. And
Okay.
We'll keep track of it and make sure everybody's safe. And at Window on the Waterfront, it's a really big space.
Sure.
So we can spread out really well there.
Nice. And they can go to Tulip Time Incorporated's website, I believe, to register.
Correct.
And can they just show up the day of, or are you asking people
We ask them to register, but if they
Okay.
do just happen to show up, we can do that then too.
there'll be plenty of bulbs for them to plant?
There absolutely will be.
So a couple opportunities for people if they want to get involved, if they want to work for the Parks Department, we're hiring.
Correct.
Cityofholland.com, or if they want to be involved in Community Planting Day, go to the Tulip Time Festival website, tuliptime.com. They can register there. October 10th, 8 a.m. and 10 a.m., two different shifts at Window on the Waterfront. Thank you, Andy. Until next month, this has been My Holland Update.